Hi everyone, my name is Keely and I'm the owner and creator here at Soy and Shea, and thank you so much for joining me for another behind the scenes look as we do the prep work for the next soap. Now I have finally got some inspiration for my Christmas soaps, and the first one I'm going to share with you is my reindeer inspired soap. The first thing we're going to go and do is pipe some carrots and also make a carrot puree, which I'm going to be using in the next soap. Let's go. So let's start a little bit differently today. I have got myself a carrot. It's a pretty big carrot that I have here. I am not going to be peeling this carrot because most of the nutrients of carrots and any other fruit and veg are actually in the skin. So instead I have given this a really good scrub to make sure that all the little bits of dirt etc. are out of it. And all I am now going to do is slice this up into I'm going to slice these down a little bit more. I'm going to do them into fairly small chunks so that this doesn't take too long to actually do. So let's get these big rounds, cut them down, and then I have a little saucepan here, and we're just going to put all these little bits in here like so. Chop the end in there as well. I'm not going to put the other end in because that's got that hard bit of core, but I'm going to do all of that like so. Next thing I'm going to do with that is pour in some distilled water. That should be about enough in there, I'd say. And now I'm going to go and put that onto the stove top, and I am going to boil this until my carrots get soft. I am going to put just a little bit more in there as well. So I'm going to go and do that now. So the next thing I'm going to do while I'm waiting for those actual carrots to boil is I am going to pipe some carrots. What I'm going to do into my oils, because I just want this to be the one shade of orange, I am adding some orange pop mica into the oils. Because mica is oil soluble, it is best to add them into the oils if you are going to just do that one sort of colour, and then it will mix in nice and evenly. So I will give that one just a very quick blast with the stick blender, and then I will pour my lye water solution into my oils, and then I will pour it into a piping bag once it is set up. Didn't take very long at all. It's only been about, I don't know, 10 minutes, and what I'm now going to do is I'm finally going to use my stick blender for the purpose it was actually intended for, and that is I am going to blend these up into a nice smooth puree. And I'm going to use that water that's in here because that has got all of those sort of minerals and vitamins and everything else from out of the carrots. What I am going to have to do, because there's just not enough depth in here, is pour it into another jug just so that we get a little bit more sort of depth of ingredients for that stick blender to do its thing. Just going to pour in a little bit more water just to help get that into a much smoother paste. I'm not worried about adding that extra water in terms of my liquid content in my soap, because I'll actually just take this off the water amount that I use when I make up my lye solution. I think I have got that as smooth as I am going to get it now. So I'm going to get my stick blender cleaned off. I'm going to leave this one to sit here and cool, and then tomorrow I will make up my lye water solution for this one. What I will do with it, I'm just trying to find my spatula. What I will do is measure how much carrot I've got in here, and then I will deduct that from the amount of water that I put into the soap. But I will actually talk a bit more about that when we make the soap on the weekend. I've got my piping all set up and ready to go in my biodegradable piping bag. I have got myself one of my trays that I like to pipe on, and I also have a template of some carrots. Now this is just something I very roughly drew up in one of the drawing programs I've got. They are not by any means perfect, but it's just to give me a rough guideline of how to pipe my carrots. I'm going to pop that onto my tray, and then over the top of that I have got some grease proof paper or some freezer paper, so I can actually pipe directly onto it. I'll get my piping bag ready here, and what I'm going to do is, just using that as a template, I'm going to start at the top of my carrot, and I'm just going to squeeze some orange, and I'm just going to wiggle my way down, making it smaller as I come down to the bottom of the carrot. That one looks a little bit dodgy, but we'll get better as we go along, I am sure. Trying to keep that sort of nice even carrot sort of shape there. Let's go like that. Ah, that's better. So we're going to get some of these carrot shapes. Now I'll do the actual leaves when it comes time to doing the soaps. I just wanted to get the actual shape of the carrot done on the paper, so that I'm not trying to do it on top of wet soap, because as you can see, some of them are coming up a little bit dodgy, but I will be able to fix those up in just one moment. So I get onto this one. I need to do 17 of these ones in total. Keep going. Now I did try and make up a small batch of soap. I only did 100 grams of oil, which, you know, that still equates to a fair amount of soap butter at the end of the day. I'm definitely not going to use all of this, but what I will do with it is pop it into a mold once we've got our carrots done, and then this will go into the soap dough box. So I'm just going to keep squeezing. That one's looking like a bit of a dodgy shape there. We will get them fixed up. I'll get some better looking ones in a minute. Alright. I think my problem is I'm pulling my piping bag off the paper, and if I keep it down on the paper I get that nicer shape. I'm wiggling it backwards and forwards to get sort of those grain or those lines that you do get in carrots. It's doing that one there. These ones are looking much better. See, practice makes perfect, guys. You know, what was said about my reaction to things when I'm piping and how they turn out. This is the first time I am having a go at piping these. So yes, these ones up here I'm going to laugh at because they look really bad. But as I go down, it's sort of like, oh, they're working, they're looking much better. So yes. Let's pull that paper across a little bit and pull my template across just a bit as well. What I'm going to try and do, these ones that have come up really, really dodgy, I'm just going to do a second one next to them so that we get some nice carrots to go on the top here. So I have just worked out keeping it on the surface while doing that gives a much better shape. And that is looking much better. And as I pull down, so up at the top I'm giving quite a bit of pressure, and as I pull down I'm lessening my pressure so I get a thinner carrot towards the end. So let's do, this one was looking pretty dodgy here as well, so let's do that one. I'm just doing them next to them so I know which ones I'm not happy with. And if you know, I don't have to waste this bit of soap, I can actually scoop it up and pop it back into the bag as well, and then use it for my soap dough. But I think I'm just going to leave them on here, and as they set up overnight they'll actually become squishy like soap dough anyway, so there is no waste. Alright, so I'm going to do one last one. That carrot actually is looking alright, but one of the others is looking quite dodgy that you can't see on camera. So let's do that one there. I am now pretty happy with the number of carrots I've got, but I'm not going to stop there. I want to do some other some different style of carrots, which you'll see how they come together on the soap. All I'm going to do is hold my bag up and down, and I should have actually said I've just got a round tip on the end of this one. I put it in my bag and actually didn't look at the number. Oh, this is one of the Lakeland tips, and it's a number 10. They do generally coincide with what the Wilton numbers are, but it is just like an open style tip. All I'm going to do is hold this one above the surface about 5 centimeters. I'm going to give it a good hard squeeze at the bottom and then just pull up, and they will all make sense when it comes to the actual soap. And I'm just going to do a few of those. I want them to have a fairly big bottom, and I'm just pulling up at the end. So we'll do as many as I feel like doing with the soap batter that I've got remaining here. So if you haven't guessed by now, the next soap is obviously going to have something to do with carrots, and I am going to be putting that pureed carrot into it. It's going to be the first time I have ever used carrot in my soap. The last time I used a food in my soap was to do the collaboration soap. Other than putting milks in it, the actual pureed food, the pureed apple was the first time I put any sort of fruit or vegetable matter into a soap, and that soap, it's come up beautiful. The actual texture of it and the feel of it, the sugars from the apple creates that beautiful lather as well. So I'm hoping I'll get a very similar experience to doing the carrots. So I have got all of those actually done up now. I have just taken the tip out of my piping bag, and I'm going to put the rest of this into this little silicone mold here so it can set up and become some soap dough for me. I hope you have enjoyed watching me make these rather funny little shapes, and that you might be curious about what we are doing on the weekend. If you've got any suggestions or thoughts about the soap that I will be doing on the weekend, let me know down below what you think I am going to do. And if you have got any other questions, I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But until the weekend's video, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you then. Bye.